has done internship. Now sir wants to distribute the certificates here. And one of our students also placed with 10 lakhs package. I request all the three students, Balaskandan, Rita will come here to collect your certificates. And because of that internship, Balaskandan has gained more knowledge and he got placed in the Infosys through Hack with Infy. So take photos. So at this time, I want to thank Vinodh sir also for doing this wonderful job, and he is continuing for the 3rd years also. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So we'll continue with where we left. So we were discussing about some use cases with respect to cybersecurity and how AI is helping to build a solution around it. So we talked about spam and phishing filtering, problem statement, and how AI helps today. The next one we have is malware detection. And again, we have so much of malware, millions of new malware variants appear daily. Signature scanners can't keep it. So we already have tools.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
If a company purely depends on AI, for example, cybersecurity, if AI goes down, any other backup security is there?
Okay. See, See, when we say AI, okay, it's not only AI, any system, right? We always have something called as DC DRAM. We call it here. DC means we call it as data center. DR means we call it as data recovery, okay, or disaster recovery. Okay. What does it mean is, for example, we know that there is an attack happening, there is a war happening between Iran and US and Saudi, Middle East is all in the middle of some problem. And there was an Amazon facility which was struck. Okay. The entire data center was down. Okay. What happened? There were so many applications which was running in the data center. Okay, it is not only for AI, it is applicable for any product. If something goes down, what will happen? Okay, all companies, right, everybody, right, we always keep something in mind. We call that as availability. Okay, availability means we say 99.9% uptime. If you go to Azure, right, they will say 99% uptime for any services you are going to consume from us. How that is achieved is not because they have Azure in only one data center. Okay, always they will have a DR backup. We call it disaster recovery. The moment one data center is down, automatically the disaster recovery data center will be turned on. Okay, so in the case of bigger companies like Google, Microsoft, where they are spending huge amount of money, they not only keep one or two, they keep so many. If some facility goes on, so if you look at Azure, right, Azure has got at least 50, 60 places Azure is running. Why? Because when we sell a product when we sell a software to a bank in Middle East, Dubai, the first principle is your software should be, our data should be in Dubai. They don't allow the data to be in another country. Okay, we say we are a SaaS platform, we are a software as a service. Okay, you can use our software. But what their only claim is we are open to SaaS, but the data has to be in UAE. It has to be in the United Arab Emirates. It should be in Dubai or Abu Dhabi somewhere. So Microsoft has to have a region somewhere in Dubai. Only then we can sell the product. Only then we can host the product in Azure and sell it to them. Okay, so Microsoft has got 50, 60 data centers or even more across globe, across different countries. So what we do is we choose Dubai or in UAE, there's UAE North, UAE Central. We choose UAE North data center as DC, which is closer to Dubai, and we choose UAE Central as disaster recovery. Which means what? If UAE North data center is down, it can happen only because of disaster, like a war or something as big has happened. The entire data center is down. What happens is that immediately the DC switches to DR. All the connectivity goes to DR. The DR will have the exact same replica of what is there in DC along with the data. Okay, so business continuity never gets disturbed. Okay, we call it as BCP. Okay, there will be always in every company, right? We have a process called as BCP, business continuity process. Okay, a business as usual. We don't any company they don't want their business to get affected because their software is down. So always they spend money, but there is a huge amount of money involved there because they need to have the same setup in two places where the second place is not always active, but they still have to spend because something goes wrong, like a war, they will lose millions and millions of dollars in 2 days, 3 days time. So they don't want that to happen, so they always will have DR. The same thing is applicable for LLMs, for AIs. All the that's why we are talking about so much of data centers. They have two data centers, one in different regions. See, we have a Indian bank, right? They have their data. I work for that client. Okay, they have their data center in Chennai and they have their data disaster recovery in Mumbai. Okay, so if any of the Indian bank software goes down, data center, not software, data center goes down. Okay, immediately what will happen? It will kickstart the disaster recovery which is in Mumbai. Okay, your software will continue to work. Maybe there may be a downtime of 1 hour or 30 minutes, depends on how much you're spending. We can keep both active. Some companies who have so much of money, they'll keep both active. Active means DC will be active, DR will be always active. They'll pay more because it is active. Okay, the moment disaster happens, it will switch to DR. The time to the application downtime will be very less, very minimal. Okay, we call it as RTO. There are some ways to it. If some companies who can't spend so much, they still have a disaster recovery, but they keep it as active passive. Okay, disaster recovery will be passive. So in the case of passive, to turn up the disaster recovery, it takes 4 to 5 years time. So downtime will be 4 to 5 years time in some cases, in such cases, but the cost will be less. Okay, so LLMs also has the same thing. To answer your question, if an LLM goes down, if some AI goes down, automatically you go to another data center. Your request will go to a different data center. Okay, so that's why.
Big data model based, the data will be available in 2 or 3. You can store
Yeah, correct. It will be available in multiple. So that's why it needs more compute. Okay, and one data center is not enough, and it is keep on evolving, and everybody is using. So it's going to be a big thing, which is happening, which is going on. A lot of places, data centers are being built. Okay, you go to Chennai, if you look at if anybody is coming from this Ambattur region, right? The Maritime is building one data center just opposite Ambattur estate. If you look at a very big building, just a data center, at least 15 floors, a very big one. It's mainly for Maritime. They are building one data center to manage their data, Maritime data, ocean related data. So, as I said, that's how it is managed. You're there? Okay. So now moving on to this. The malware detection, as I said, right? ML learns how malware behaves, catching never before seen, 0-day alert. So how, in terms of malware detection happens again, how AI can help you is, we know what is a malware detection. Okay, it means every day a new malware is being created. Okay, again to collect the data from user. And how AI can know is, again, supervised learning. Supervised learning means what? We have so much of malware information is already available, which is again used for the learning, AI learning, for creating the AI learning model. And on top of it, we will use unsupervised learning to find the behavior pattern. Okay, to find the behavior of malware, how the malware operates, what data it collects, what time, what the time your user activity is going to happen. All these things are collected, and again a tool can be built. So ML learns how malware behaves, catching never before seen zero-day variance by the action. Okay. Here, when it comes to malware, unsupervised learning is the key here, because here the tool needs to know, or the ML needs to know, zero day means what I said. There is no time to react. Okay, there is a issue. Okay, generally the zero day or zero trust issue happens when some patches gets released, and in that patch there is a vulnerability which was not seen by the company. Okay, and the attackers have seen it first and exploited it. And they started attacking, and they started collecting information using that particular vulnerability. So how AI can do this is again based on behavior pattern, behavior analysis. Behavior analysis means what? How the past malware went and fetched the data, and how it behaves, how the malware generally behaves. With these informations, if any new malware comes, based on the pattern, it can automatically detect and prevent any such attacks done by the users. So that's the second case where we call it as malware detection. The third one we have is intrusion detection system. This is mainly happens in the networks. Okay, it's not a software. It happens through a networking layer. Okay, we know the OSI layer, right? Networking layer happens. This attacks hide inside massive volumes of normal network traffic, impossible to eyeball. Eyeball means we cannot see that particular attack which is coming via network, because it is hidden in the packets. It is hidden in the network package which is coming from a place into your system or into your server somewhere. So again, how AI can do this is AI will identify which is a normal traffic, which is not a normal traffic. Normal traffic means, okay, generally my data packets per day, per hour, per minute, per second, this is how it comes. Suddenly there is a rush in my data packet size. Okay, suddenly I see something different in the packets which is sent via network. It stops that particular packet and finds is there something different coming. Again, what is being analyzed here? User behavior, again the package behavior, the network behavior. See, there is only three. Whatever use case I see, I am going to revolve around only three ways. Either supervised learning, or unsupervised learning, or reinforcement. Okay, there is nothing other than these three, we can train a model. So whatever use case, we have to use any of these three things to fit and see how we can solve it. But and again, what you need, okay, technique is fine, but what you need data. Without data, there is no AI model. Okay, so if I take a first one, in the previous review, if we take a spam and phishing, what do you need? You need spam emails. You need all the history of spam emails. You need phishing attack mails. You need lot of phishing attack mails which has been come in the past. Okay, you will have millions and millions of mails, or even more. With those mails, that's the data. Okay, with the data, you are applying some technique, whether supervised learning or unsupervised or pattern, whatever these techniques you apply, and then you make use of the AI to do its work. So for intrusion detection also, the same thing applies. You can apply, but you should know how to find what is normal, what is not normal. Okay, you have to either you can do a supervised training or you can do an unsupervised training. Supervised means okay, every day morning, again, only the networking guys can say. We cannot say because we are not monitoring how much of GB we are downloading, uploading every day, morning, evening. We don't know all those things. Maybe a networking guy can say, this is your pattern. Okay, maybe a dashboard will say, if they have built a dashboard, we have tools, we have SIEM tools, we have SOC tools. These tools will collect logs, we have monitoring tools. These monitoring tools will collect the network traffic and will tell the users, okay, today this particular user has downloaded this much of size of files at this point of time. These kind of reports can be taken, provided we have the tool installed, provided this tool is monitoring your laptops which you are working in the company. We have the place where we are, all our IT companies, we have SIEM tools, we have SOC tools, all our products, logs are connected to these tools. Okay, so everything we do, whether we use email, inbox, Outlook, whether we use the software, everything gets logged, and all the logs goes to these tools, and these tools will have a dashboard. I'll show you. I'll talk about that in the coming slide. But let's quickly wrap this out. Then we have fraud detection. Again, fraud detection, the same concept. Any fraud happens, any habitual account, location, device habits. So again, user behavior. MI scores every transaction. The amount, location, device, habits, and blocks suspicious ones instantly. Again, based on data. Again, based on supervised and unsupervised learning. Then user behavior analysis, we talked about it. Certainly a 2 EM bulk upload. It stops. Threat intelligence, again, this is one one place where across the globe, right, we have threat intelligence, threat feeds, okay, which we call it as all the defense team, right? There will be a defense team. There is a red team, there is a blue team, we call it as defense team. They, whatever threat they identify, right, they publish it. Okay, they feed it. Okay, we call that as threat intelligence. Why they feed it is because they want all the other defense team, all the other companies to know about this threat. Only if the threat is exposed, okay, such a threat has happened, and this is the root cause, this is how we identify the threat. If that is published, only then the tools, the SIEM tools or the virus antivirus tools, whatever, they can write a script to block that. That will be released as a patch. So if you have installed antivirus in your machine, a simple example, your antivirus has got a database. That database are known threats. If unknown threat is coming, your antivirus cannot block. Okay, so how will an unknown threat become a known threat to your antivirus? Somebody has faced the threat somewhere in the world. Okay, he has published that, he has given the threat intelligence. Okay, somewhere he has published about this threat. Okay, somebody sitting in McAfee, okay, gets to know about the threat. So what they do is that in all SEM tools, right, there is a way to send threat intelligence. We call it as feeds, threat feeds or threat intelligence feeds. Okay, people who globally sits across, right, who are defenses, whose job is to work only on threat intelligence. There is a job itself. Okay, one of my friends is working as a threat intelligence officer. Okay, his job itself is to learn about threats. Okay, learn about what is happening, what new threats are coming, what is happening, and there is a role itself called as threat intelligence officer. In Microsoft, in Facebook, every company has got a role called as threat intelligence, which is one of the very important role, which is very difficult to get in the space of cybersecurity. Okay, which is challenging, which is highly paid. Okay, but it's very, very difficult to get into that particular role because the company will not have 10 threat intelligence officers, there may be 1 or 2. Okay, based on the size of the company. Okay, so their job itself is to learn about threats and give intelligence. Okay, and now with this intelligence, what happens? These products, who are like McAfee or whatever, those security products, right? They build a script to block this threat, which will be coming into your system as a patch. You upload, you give an update, right? What will get updated? Your data will get updated. Threat data will get updated. So now the unknown threat has now become a known threat. The moment it becomes a known threat, if that threat comes to your machine, your McAfee will know how to handle it. Okay, so this is a process. This process will keep on happen. Okay, it cannot stop. As long as new threats are coming, this will happen. So that's a threat intelligence. Again, AI. So now the problem scenario is that somebody publishes somewhere, and this person has to keep on find information about the new threat. What AI can do here? We can build a tool which can fetch feeds about new threats on daily basis. It can collect all the threats across the web because LLM can do it. One good prompt can do it. Okay, LLMs can get you a lot of information about the threats which is happening across the globe on day-to-day basis, and that feed you can get and you can pass it to your systems automatically. You can automate this entire process. The threat intelligence process can be entirely automated. if you can connect this thing, see this is manual. What I was saying, threat intelligence officer, people across the globe, they find the threat, they publish it fine. But we need automation, AI automation tool, which can get the threat from various sources, identify it as a new threat or an existing threat. The existing threat, millions of threats are it's very difficult for a user to identify first of all it's a new threat or it's a existing threat with millions of threats. Can AI do it? Yes. Can AI do it in a better way? Yes. Because AI will have access to the existing threat database. It can it can first tell whether first flag it can tell whether it's a new threat or it is an existing threat. AI can do that in a matter of seconds. It can do it. Yes. Then what it can do, okay, it has identified it as a new threat. Okay, now what it does, it adds to the database. Can it find a solution? Yes, on top of it. Okay, and it can recommend the solution to these, it can feed this thread to all the database automatically. Okay, there could be some engineering work required, there could be some Python script or some engineering required to block the thread, which has to be done by the development team obviously, but for a greater extent, it can automate this particular work, which is again an AI can do, which is something very important, which is threat intelligence. Because without this, we cannot, cybersecurity cannot evolve. Okay, so that's one key area. Then all these things, all the threat intelligence, every information and all the information has to come and sit somewhere. Okay, and we call that as SIEM. Okay, we generally call it Security Central Brain, or SIM stands for Security Information and Event Management. Okay, SIM, so many bigger companies have SIM tools, SIM products. Securonics has got N5. There are bigger companies. Cisco has got its own SIM. Azure has got Sentinel. Azure Sentinel, you will come across SIM. So SIM is a company's central security system. Central means what? All their applications will be connected to the system. All the softwares. If a bank uses 200 softwares, every software will be connected to SIM. Okay, and there will be a big team who will work on SIM and SOC, security operations. Okay, on these two tools. What they do, they work on these logs, identify threats. There is a lot of space, lot of use cases to build AI tools. In the space of SIEM and in the space of SOC. Okay.
Problem definition.
Problem?
SIEM and SOC.
Definition of
Problem definition. I discuss now regarding problem statement.
problem statement.
Yes. Could you tell me some problem statement?
So I have some slides where we talk about here. I'll quickly skip to that. Probably I'll just touch base these two slides and we'll talk about some problem statements in terms of how these things can be automated. So what SIM does is it collects, correlates, and alerts. Okay, and now in SIM, the same tool is there for a very long time. It's not new, but now what people are doing is, what SIM tools are doing is they are adding AI capability. Not only SIM tool, every product across the whatever software your customers are using, people are using, they wanted to build some AI capability. Security space, the SIEM is one tool. Okay, so what it does is, it's if you look at the left hand side, right, it connects to servers, endpoints, networks, cloud apps, desktop apps, whatever. The entire software ecosystem is connected to SIEM. Okay, through the tool. And what it does, it gives alerts, dashboards, and reports. Now, the second thing is SOC automation and AI incidents reports. Again, another use case. Okay, SOC automation. You remember I talked about this L1 automation at the beginning of the session. I said, right, there is L1 activity where they analyze the logs, they go through the logs and they find whether it is an anomaly, someone from a different IP has come to this system. So they try to find some anomaly in the logs. That entire L1 activity is done through SOC. This is one of the SOC activity. So what SOC does is detect, AI spots the threat. So here the use case, here what happens as the use cases, from the logs, who detects the threat? AI spots the threat. Okay, and then who investigates the threat, AI gathers the context, and then AI recommends rank response and respond, isolate, block, alert team, and then learn, which is update defenses. This ecosystem is applicable for SOC activity. Okay, SOC activity means somebody, see, let's forget this for a moment. Now somebody has to do manually. Okay, how it's done today is there's a SOC team. Every company has a SOC team. Company, not small, mid to high range companies who can afford security. Security is very expensive. Okay, and it is required only for data sensitive companies, banks, telecoms, aerospace, defense. They need security and they spend millions and millions of dollars for security. Software is cheap. Okay, software without security, scalability, availability, it is very, very cheap. Okay, why we talk about software banks, when we sell a software at a bank, it will be in millions of dollars. Why? It is not for the functionality, it is for the ecosystem around the functionality. It is for security, it is for availability. You asked, right? If something goes wrong, what will happen? So we need to have DC, we need to have DR. So the cost, okay, high availability, scalability, security, compliances, government rules. There are so many things. Functionality is what? Said you want to pay someone, click a button, pay. You want to receive money, no, you will receive. You want to check your account balance, check it. So functionality is quite simple. If you take a banking mobile app, right, functionality is not so complicated. And banks are not paying for software billions of dollars just to build that functionality. It is to ensure that the data is safe, ensure that the data is encrypted. WhatsApp whatever communication you do, right, it's encrypted. That encryption costs more than the functionality to send a receive message. Okay, in just 3 days time you can write a small app to send a receive message. But to build an encrypted ecosystem, it takes time. Okay, so here the same thing. When we talk about logs, there will be lots and lots of logs, and it's very difficult for somebody to detect, investigate, design, respond, and learn, which is happening today manually for mid ranges to high ranges company where we have a SOC team who looks at logs. I've seen my friend, and he has a team, SOC team, and what they do, their job is to keep monitoring the logs, and they have written some scripts to raise alerts. But these scripts are very minimal. Only the known issues they find, and they have to keep having the threat intelligence to know whether that's a problem. Whether somebody has broke the connectivity, somebody has entered your network or not. They need to have knowledge. Now, this entire part can be dealt with the help of AI, and that's what we are talking here. And some of the attacks, okay, as I said earlier, right? One side it is AI helping us, one side for defensing, and other side AI is helping attackers also, which is smarter phishing. Mails are more smarter now. Okay, you can draft a mail very authentic with the help of AI to deceive someone. Okay, so smarter phishing attacks, deep fakes. You have seen videos, right? Recently, there are some videos which went viral also. Okay, I would be saying in a day you can earn, every day you can earn $2,000 or $5,000 every day. Okay, it was exactly, deep fake videos have been so badly used in the recent times for marketing some unknown links or to get you into traps. Okay, I don't know, it's happening every day. Deep fakes are now biggest problem. Okay, then adaptive malware, automated hacking, all these are the flip side of AI. Flip side of AI in the sense, AI is helping attackers in doing all these things in a better way. Adaptive malware is a very difficult thing, and automated hacking is also a very difficult thing. What happens is that AI learns based on, if, for example, I'm saying a user will go through this mail ID, this invalid. AI also adapts to this learning and tries to be more smarter. Unsupervised learning can also be used for what? For doing fraud. Okay, based on user analysis, it can even become smarter to deceive the user. Okay, that's the flip side, that's the other side. So that's why we call it's an arms race. This is why defenders must understand AI. It's now an arms race. Arms race means both sides. So you have AI to which can help you to defend. You have AI, which can also help to attack. Okay, so it's going to be that way. So discuss, okay, so these, I think I will skip this part. This is the takeaway, and I'll go to the last part. And these things are pretty much standard things. Generative AI, you know, text, images, code, audio, video, and that's dual use. And these tools also, I think most of you have used it, Copilot and all these things and all, that's all fine. Okay. Agentic AI, okay, agentic AI, autonomous SOC. Autonomous SOC is a use case where we try to build AI agents in SOC tools, okay, which will do automation of some of the jobs, okay. So if you look at this, AI agents detect, investigate and contain threats with minimal human input, runs 24% at mission speed, humans supervise and handle escalations, the emerging future of security operations. So this is the major, broader use case. Under this only we have a lot of other use cases to be dealt with. And how to start with agentic AI? We have to set a goal, plan steps, use tools, adjust and repeat. See, the concept is quite simple. You need data. Okay, any use case you take, you have to have data. You should have knowledge about the data. See, somebody cannot build a model without the knowledge of the data. Okay, you need knowledge of the data, you need the data, and then you need to decide whether you are going to start with supervised learning or unsupervised learning or reinforcement. Use the algorithms accordingly in your code, NLP algorithms or machine learning algorithms to do that learning, pass the data, do the learning. This development is quite simple to be precise. But what takes more time is fine-tuning it and making it more accurate. That takes months or years. Okay, we are working with some plants where it takes minimal 9 months to 1 year to achieve 80% accuracy. Okay, we start with somewhere around 50 and we go up to 80, 85, but it takes 1 year. Okay, and this is the place where answer spending, this is the place where new roles are going to come, this is the place where new opportunities are going to come. Okay, in the space of building agentic AIs. For different industries, every industry needs this. See, we are talking here about cybersecurity industry. The same thing is applicable for every industry you take. The same agentic AI concept. So there's going to be a huge surge in building agentic AIs in all the platforms. The roles are going to be similar to that. And the other roles might a little bit reduce. Okay, so here I have last couple of slides. I think we are okay. So I'll share this slide. Okay, I have some demos which you can try. Okay, phishing detection AI. These 10 demos I have. Okay, maybe you can collect the slide and try it out. Okay. First one is phishing detection, which tool you can use, AI generation phishing email, okay, password strength, face recognition, Google Lens. I've given the steps also, okay, what you can do, how you can do. You can try this 10 demos, okay, on, when it comes on security side, okay. So you can take a phishing email, put it in ChatGPT, understand it, and it will flag the indicators. So this one thing will help you how to build a model. Okay, see, you need to, see, for building a model, obviously we need machine learning. Okay, we need to use existing model plus machine learning, or we have to build a model, either ways. But this thing can help you understand how LLMs can help you to do that. We also integrate with LLMs. Okay, sometimes what we do is that we have a problem statement. Okay, LLMs is already, there are a lot of information available. Okay, so what we do is that we pass that information to LLM to know whether it is a phishing email or it is not a phishing email. Google has already, in Android phones you already have. You see an ad recently which is circulating. There is a text message which comes to the mom, and the kid don't click that link. It says in Google, right, in Android, just you can copy it and put it in Google Lens. Automatically it will tell whether it is a phishing message or it is not a phishing message. It's going on the recent last 1 week or some. You have come across that ad where spam messages come, or in Android itself they have given a feature to identify whether it is a phishing or it is not a attack. maybe. So such kind of things are happening because of LLM, because they have integrated that with LLM. Google Lens is an extension of LLM. Okay. So you can try these things. I'll pass on these slides. Okay, I had these things. So I'll skip this. I'll go to something which is the last. Okay. So these are the areas where currently the use cases are built around. Okay, for any researchers who wanted to do. Okay, in the space of cybersecurity, AI malware detection is one. Okay, and then adversarial ML, machine learning, like attacking and defending models, building attacking and defending models, and then explainable security AI, trustworthy and auditable models, and then deepfake detection. See, deepfake is one another biggest problem or challenge which we are facing. To identify whether the video is deepfake or the photo is deepfake or not. Okay, we can build a model again. Autonomous defense. Okay, this is for SOC. Autonomous defense means what? If somebody is trying to attack, I am going to build a model which is going to automatically defend. Okay, with the help of existing threat intelligence and all those things, so we can build autonomous defense. Then privacy preserving ML. So these are the broader topics. Okay, under which we can have many more subtopics. Okay, these are the broader areas where the research can be done. Research is already, people have started doing it, but these are the broader topics when it comes to cybersecurity. Under this, we have a lot of subtopics. Okay, so you can just see this. And these are some PhD directions and final year projects. Again, it's all connected to the cybersecurity space, robustness of ML models versus adversarial attacks, explainable intrusion detection frameworks, LLM-driven automated threat intelligence, privacy-preserving federated security analysis. We have many more topics, but the broader ones I told you, all these things come under it. Okay, probably right. Let me see if I can share some things, some more topics on this, use cases. But these are all use cases, and on the project side also we have on the right hand side. So this slide I'll share it. Maybe you can make use of it to go through this. And these are the roles which are coming. I was speaking about roles: ML engineer, security analyst, data scientist, AI security researcher, ML ops engineer, AI ethics officer. See, in AI ethics is another key thing which we didn't discuss much. Okay, we have to build an ethical model. Okay, that's only that will survive. So, no, that's one more thing. And these things are certifications which are provided by many people on this space. Okay, if you want to dive deep into some of these topics, some of these researches, you can refer the certifications provided by Google, Microsoft, AWS, IBM, CompTIA, Deep Learning, or AI. All these people are providing more detailed on these topics, which I discussed, and about these roles as well. I think I'm done with this. So this is the ethical priorities of building an AI: fairness, transparency, privacy, human oversight. And challenges what we have today is deep fake, misinformation, AI-powered cyber attacks, data quality and model bias, skill gap and job displacement. So this is the overall thing about today's session. I think I'm done with this. This is a summary of what we discussed today. That's it. Anyway, I'll share this slide. I've given some book references. If you wanted to learn more, some recommended books and free online learning portals. That's it. Thanks all. Maybe last 15 minutes I rush through it in the interest of time. Maybe you can go through the slide and dive deeper into it.
Sir, I'm not from computer science domain, so if my question is a stupid question, please forgive me. Since you are a practical person and industry person, AI is used both by hackers as well as by cyber criminals. To whom it is advantage?
Okay. See, it's advantage to be frank. Okay. There is no clear, we cannot define it. But for differences, it is better because differences have got a lot of data. Attackers, you have to create new. Okay. There is a good amount of advantage for differences because for spam, for example, if you take spam, right, you have millions of data for spam. Okay, you have millions for everything you take, right? When you build a model, right, you have so much of data already available on top of which you are building a model to defend. Okay, for finding the patterns, user behavior pattern. But for attackers, the problem is you have to build new. Okay, so that's the major difference. So there's a slight advantage or good amount of advantage for defenders when we build this model effectively. Again, it's all in the initial stages of building. Okay, once it comes into real use, once we see the output of it, once we see the effectiveness of it, then it will be very challenging for attackers to start creating new. Obviously, they'll find a way, but it will reduce. The objective is to reduce.
Person to use that.
Yeah. Because see, attackers will say they start using it. Okay, different is they have to build a model. It takes some time. Okay, because you have to use the fast data to figure it out, build a model, and apply it. Until then, it's going to be mix and match.
Sir,
Actually, this is the algorithm we developed. This is the proposed model. So இதில் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கோம்னா ஆண்ட்ராய்டு மாடல் அப்ளிகேஷன் ஃபேஸ் போஸ்டர். ஸோ இதில் வந்து இந்த அல்காரிதம் அதாவது ஆக்டிவல் ஸ்பாம் ஆப்டிகேஷன் திஸ் இஸ் அல்காரிதம் தீஸ் ஆர் த ஸ்டெப்ஸ் வி டெவலப்டு. இதில் வந்து நாங்கள் ஜஸ்ட்டு வந்து பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் அனாலிசிஸ் பண்ணுறோம். இதில் இந்த ரெண்டுல வந்து டிடெக்ட் பண்ணுறோம். எஸ்எம்எஸ் இது எவ்வளோ நாங்கள் பண்ணுறோம். ஸோ எனக்கு வந்து என்னென்னா இதில் வந்து எக்ஸ்டெண்டடாக நம்ம என்ன எக்ஸ்டெண்டட் வெர்ஷன் என்ன பண்ணுறோம் அப்படிங்கிறது மாதிரி எனக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் டெஃபினேஷன் வரும். நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்கல்ல ஆக்சுவலி நாங்கள் வந்து 3 phases வந்து நான் டெவலப் பண்ணிட்டேன். அது இது வந்து என்னோட ரிசர்ச். அப்போ இதில் வந்து என்னென்னா எனக்கு எக்ஸ்டெண்டட் வெர்ஷன் வேணும். பட் இட் பிலாங்ஸ் டு இண்டஸ்ட்ரி. இது வந்து நாங்கள் அகடாமிக் ரிசர்ச் தான் பண்ணுறோம். எனக்கு வந்து இண்டஸ்ட்ரி ரிசர்ச் இருக்குது. இப்போ இண்டஸ்ட்ரி ரிசர்ச் பண்ணும்போது அதை வந்து நான் என்னுடைய ஒர்க்கை நான் வந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிப்பேன். We are interested, we can combine it together and we can publish the papers. Okay.
You share one of the details. I'll spend some time go through it and then.
உங்களுடைய மெயிலில் வந்து நோட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டேன். இதுதான் வந்து நான் ப்ரப்போஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். இது வந்து phase 3. எனக்கு வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட் வருஷம் வேணும்.
Next version. What do you think? You share one of the to spend some. Any questions?